Hi, I'm Ken Schroeder, a website designer for coaches, and in this video I will walk you through the steps of setting up your coaching website on WordPress. Lots of coaches love using WordPress for their websites. There are a lot of great themes out there so that your website can look great. There are a lot of plugins and tools out there that integrate with your website so that you can expand the functionality, like do quizzes and calendar booking and stuff like that, email lists, lots of things out there. And the third, but the big reason, is that it's a very powerful content publishing platform. In work with clients, I love using WordPress to put together content, post it to your website, share it out online like social media sites, and then prepare it for Google so that you can, Google will send traffic to you. It's true that WordPress can take some time to learn, but that's true of just about any design platform out there, like Wix, Weebly, Squarespace. I've used them all. A good tutorial or someone to handhold you through the process will do a lot for ramping you up the learning curve. And in this video, my job here is to get you from having nothing to a place where you have WordPress active and you can start adding content, add a theme, and start tweaking the visuals so that you can start developing your website. Me, I'm Ken Schroeder. I left the corporate world 20 plus years ago so I could do my own thing and do more passionate work. And when I was a child, I was on computers all the time, designing, coding, messing around with it. And I love getting creative on computers. Developing this design business, I've been able to travel to other cities and have full control over my time and my schedule. I get to do work that I intrinsically am good at and work with awesome people like you. So it's great. And as you go, if you get stuck, just post your question in the comments below. And if you other videos you want to see or further questions you have about this or ways I can make the video better, I love hearing comments from people as well. And if you can hit like, that would be cool. I like to see which videos of mine do the best and which are most helpful. Basically the ones that people enjoy the most. Okay, so thank you and enjoy the video. Here we go. Okay, begin by clicking the link down below that says Start Here. And that'll take you to Bluehost, where we will get hosting and your domain name at the same time. Coming to Bluehost, I see now they're offering two different ways to get started. I think they're essentially the same thing, except they may have appears to be new software that Bluehost is proprietarily created, a website builder. And I'm hesitant to want to go this route because I think it'll add more software that you got to think about and worry about and probably never use. Click on Host Your Site. On the left, we're going to buy this domain name and hosting. You only need the basic plan on the left, $2.95 per month. Oh, by the way, this is my affiliate link, so I do make some money off this, enough to keep my coffee bill covered. You don't pay more by using my link. I mean, I've used Bluehost for a long time. I'm happy with them. Click Select on the left. And so you have two options here. If you do not have a domain name, you'll enter it here. But if you have one already, like let's say a GoDaddy, then you'd put that here and they'll encourage you to transfer it. It's best to transfer it because you'll have fewer technical headaches. If you do struggle with your domain name, getting it transferred, call Bluehost, they're good. Or you can post in the comments. I'll respond as best I can. But really the fastest and most immediate help would just be calling Bluehost's support line. And it's really easily accessible. Let me just show you. If you go to bluehost.com, straight on the top of their site, contact. You can have a phone call or you can chat with them. So for the fun of it, I'm going to do Jump High with Ken. I'm going to act as if I'm a jumping coach to train people how to jump higher. Train with Ken. Maybe that. Jump High with Ken. Okay, so that's gonna be my domain name. If you're not sure of your domain name, I do have a link down below to an article on 10 keys to a catchy domain name. I like domain names that say what they are. Like, if you're like a health coach Kim, that's good. Or live vibrantly. That could be something like that. It's things that say what you do, say the kind of results you bring, and include your name is good too. Those are the ones I like. If you're a general coach, you might just want to use your name because then your niche may find itself over time. Put your domain name in here, jumphighwithken.com. Let's do that. Okay, I have to put in my payment information. The domain is available. I knew it would be because shoot, how many Kens with 2 N's are there? I might want to buy Jump High with Ken with 1 N as well and redirect it to this one. The people are likely to misspell my name and just have 1 N. But let's just buy this and keep going. Ken Schroeder. Success. Okay, so now we've purchased the domain name and hosting. Let's go create our account. Here's some details down below. Good by me. Create my account. They're going to get some basic information out of us. Oh, domain name is, yep, it's there. We've already chosen that. Let's create a password. By the way, you'll get an email from Bluehost. I think we need to confirm our email address. So Bluehost did send an email, Whois verification. So click on that. Click verify your email. This is needed to get the account going. Okay, so the Whois verification is complete. So that's good. We can delete that email. And we also got a payment confirmation email as well. And that looks good to me. Let's go back to the setup. Here's the password. Make sure you save it and you agree to the privacy and terms. Create account. Your account is ready to go. You can log in. Other times I've done this, this doesn't get to this screen. It just hangs up. It just kind of didn't do anything. So in that case, you can always try logging into your hosting account and it'll tell you whether it's finished or not. So I'm going to go here now, go to login now that my account is ready to go. Login. Okay, here we go. It's the beginning of your adventure. Create your website. Hit that. Comes to your website. How much help do you want? For now, no help. Purpose is business. And let's just leave it with limitless customization. Let's not use their Bluehost website builder because I'm going to show you how WordPress works. So on the left, limit customization. Click on the left one, get started. What type of site is it? I think there's coaching down here. Let's see. Scroll down to consulting and coaching. Who are you creating a site for? Myself. Continue. Tell us about your initial experience. Not now. Do you want to name your site? Jump High with Ken. It's good that this matches your domain name. Tagline. So let's say Jump Training with this coach Ken. Jump Training for sports. Let's say. I'll say that was that. We can always change this later on. Continue. Pick a free or premium theme. What we're going to do is we're going to skip this one. Let's not worry about themes now. What I'm going to do is set you up with the 2021 theme and just get your menu and pages set up so you can start adding content. Okay, so let me skip this step for now. Here we are. Okay, now that's all been done. We're at Bluehost. We've purchased your domain name. We've got hosting going. And at this point, what I want to do is let's go to your website address and see if it's there. So jumphighwithken.com. And lo and behold, a new WordPress site is coming soon. That's been a temporary landing page Bluehost set up for you. And this is great because now you have a domain, and if someone goes to it, they'll come to your website. You'll see up above that it's showing a not secure message near the domain name. Right now, the secure server is not set up yet. We can confirm that by going to https:// the domain name, and we'll see. So if I put this in and hit enter, let's see if the secure server is active. And it is not. So we just need to give that 5 to 20 minutes, according to Bluehost, to be set up. So we'll just come back and check a bit later. Okay, so I did take a short break and I came back and I checked my domain name to see if the secure server was working by just going to my website and refreshing it. And it happened to now be active. You can tell if you look up here in the Chrome browser, I have the little lock icon is showing. So good, now it's the secure server is active. If for some reason you don't have it active, you can still continue following this video and do what I'm doing next and follow me along. But if like an hour or so goes by or half a day and a day goes by and the secure server is still not active, then I would definitely open a chat box with Bluehost and ask them to make sure it's active. Okay. So at this point, let's get you logged into your website, and we're going to log in straight to your website and not go through the Bluehost hosting area. What I'm going to show you is the classic and most direct way to access your website and get into WordPress and get into the back end and make edits, etc. So you might want to write this down. You go to the address bar and you type in a slash, which goes from the lower left to the upper right, wp-admin. It's a domain name ending with /wp-admin as shown here. And then hit enter. And here's the login screen. This is the first time that we are logging in. Click on lost your password and we'll set it for the first time. Put in the email address that you set up your hosting account with, and then click get new password. Okay, it's going to bring you back to the login screen here. It should have told you that they sent you a password reset email. I've seen that screen before. I don't know why it didn't pop up this time, but basically what you want to do now is go to your email and look for the reset password link. Here it is, mine, Jump High with Ken password reset. And here's the link. So I'll click that and then I'll make a password. And it's going to be another one of those crazy passwords, which I will completely accept and I will save it. So I'm going to copy this password and paste it in my little storage area. So you want to write this down for yourself. Okay, password has been reset, log in. And here's where you put in the email address and the new password. I'll try to remember me because I don't like having to put my password in. Now I am inside WordPress. This is the dashboard. And you can tell you're inside WordPress when you see the very, very dark gray or near black bar on the left and then the bar across the top. So that's how you log into WordPress. To log out on the upper right is my name, and I just click log out. The reason this has my photo is because there's another service out on the internet called Gravatar. And I've told Gravatar to associate my email address with this photo. So this WordPress has automatically gotten this photo for me. Yours is probably going to be a blank space or something. Or if you have a Gravatar account, you might actually see your photo here. But here's where you log out. Click log out. And here's that login screen again. And I'm going to go back to Jump High with Ken, the temporary page. And I'm going to go here and log in again, /wp-admin. If you want to bookmark this, you can do it too if you like bookmarks. And I'm going to log back in again just to go through the process and so that you know how to do it. There it is. This is saved. I'm just going to go with it and log in. That should work just fine. And lo and behold, we are logged in back to the WordPress quote-unquote dashboard. And it's a little hairy under here because there's a lot of different plugins that were given to you when you set it up with Bluehost. And Bluehost has their own little thingy in here as well. And since WordPress is made for designers, developers, and business owners of all sorts, you have access to a lot of stuff underneath the hood, so to speak. And that can be a little bit intimidating, but in this video, I will get you to a comfortable place. Okay, so let me just show you a couple of things. If you click on your name in the upper left, you'll go to the front end of your website, the live temporary page that's there. Oh, actually, this is going to show you the current theme that's being used. The 2022 theme has been set up or by default is going to be active. And since we are logged in, we are seeing this 2022 theme showing for us. This is not what the public will see, but this is what you and I will see now that we are logged in as administrators. So if we're logged in and we're working on our website, we'll see how it looks if it were to be live. Again, if I log out, other people will get that coming soon page. So I know a lot of people, when they're working on their websites, they don't want people to see half finished work. They'd rather anyone who stumbles on the website to see that coming soon page. Okay. And so I click up here, Jump High with Ken. I click on that. And then I go back to the dashboard. And that is, that's how you get in and out of your WordPress website. Okay, so next, let me help you clean up some of the stuff in here. I like to delete stuff that was put in here. I'm more of a minimalist, but essentialist. They're giving me notices. Please set up analytics. Here's how you connect it. Try Constant Contact. Here's WordPress 5.9. This is the latest version that's been recently updated. So you can dismiss or close a lot of these things since you don't know. You don't know about these things, and I don't recommend getting pulled into any of these things. And just do the things you need to know now. And so what we are going to do is just turn off and close and delete some things. So let's go over to plugins, and I'm going to delete a bunch of plugins that started here. So there's a Bluehost plugin that does a bunch of things, and it's basically Bluehost's way of trying to manage your hosting your WordPress website. I don't like that being there because I like to stick to the raw basic WordPress environment that you're meant to be using. So we're going to deactivate that. I click on deactivate. I probably Constant Contact and Bluehost got together and said, okay, we'll include your Constant Contact, and maybe they'll get a percentage of the sales, if you use Constant Contact as your mail list service. I don't like Constant Contact. It's another story for another day. But for now, let's just delete stuff. Deactivate. I just click other. I don't want to think too much here. Yep. Creative Mail by. Okay, I'm going to deactivate. Also deactivate Google Analytics by Monster Insights. I'm going to deactivate that. I don't want to see notices about that right now. Down the line, when you want your Google Analytics active, then you can go figure out how to get that going. For now, again, what I wanted to do is get you active with WordPress so you can start adding content, consider a theme, and start tweaking design. And Opt-in Monster, I'm going to deactivate. Let me just do this bulk. WP Forms Lite, I don't like using that. A lot of the other forms out there, like this one, quite limited in what they can do. And then you just get like one of those WordPress forms where you click on it, submit, and you don't even know if it's submitted. And they're just and they don't really tell the user what's going to happen next. When I design websites and forms, I like letting visitors know what's coming next, what they need to fill out, and auto response messages, and just really stay connected to the visitor. So and Yoast, we're going to also deactivate that too now. Yoast is for SEO. It's a great plugin. I use it. It's fantastic. But I don't want you to see the notices and messages or think about or worry about SEO at the moment. Those three, I will go here to bulk actions and deactivate, apply. So you'll see fewer little notices beckoning you to do stuff. In fact, I would delete, and I'm going to, because I won't use these. I'm going to delete Bluehost's little plugin, Creative Mail as well. And I'm going to delete Opt-in Monster. And I'm going to delete WP Forms Lite. I will leave Yoast because I know I would use that and I'd recommend it. And if I ever do other videos, I'll talk about some of those. These other ones I will never do videos on anyways. So I'm going to delete those. It's good to remove or make plugins inactive that you're not using because it can slow your site down. Right now, your site is brand new, so nothing's really going to slow it down. It's going to run real fast. In fact, just for kicks, gtmetrics.com measures website speed. Let's chuck our site in there. Jumphighwithken.com. Let's just take a look at the speeds. This will test a bunch of other things as well, performance kind of stuff, which will probably make you go cross-eyed. But for now, let's just see how fast this site is. And any fresh setup of a site would be like lightning fast. Okay, so performance 76, structure is good, but essentially this one is 1.5 seconds. So that's good. It's just fast. So that's really the number to look for. Anyways, let's not get sidetracked too much. Okay, and so we've gotten rid of some plugins, and that's a bit of a cleanup now. Jetpack wants you to activate it. Jetpack had some good things I've used in the past. I got to tell you, I can't remember why I use it or why I have it active anymore. So, but I'm not going to answer that question right now. So posts, a quick rundown of the left. Dashboard is the dashboard. If you click on that, you go back and forth between the site. The dashboard, there's also updates here. And as time goes on, your plugins and your theme will require updates as coders, developers, authors update their software. So Jetpack is a bunch of tools. Ignore that for now. Posts, those are blog posts. Those are like if you add a new post, you'll have a new item in your blog when you activate your blog on your site. Media is images and maybe PDFs. Could be some short videos. I think longer videos you can't really host. They need to be somewhere else. Pages are pages. They're kind of similar to blog posts, except they don't have like a date and comment section so much. They're more like static pages. So like, maybe my coaching page, you'll have some details about coaching, or an about me page. Comments, where people comment on your blog. Feedback. I believe this is from a form response. And maybe there might be a form that WordPress does come with. You might be able to use, and these will be responses if people fill it out. I actually haven't seen that in a while. Maybe it's something new or different. Users are users of your website, people who have signed up or logged into your website. I rarely use that. For the most part, your site will be not a membership site to start out with. It'll be more informational. If down the line you get into memberships, this could be where users would be. There's some other tools and some other settings which we may or may not get into. And plugins obviously are the things you can do to extend the capacity or the capabilities of your website, like making like a learning center. You can have courses, or you can sell a membership, like I said before, quiz plugins and all kinds of stuff you can do. That's a rundown of the left side of the dashboard. And what I want to do now also is to change your theme. So if you go to Appearance and then Themes, this will show you the available themes. And there are many themes out there, and Bluehost tried to get us to pick a few, but we skipped past that for now. There are themes. Yeah, this is an endless supply of themes out in the world. And the 2022 theme is what's currently active. And it's got some nice, fun stuff to it. I saw an overview of the 2022 theme, and but that's going to add a learning curve that I don't want to throw at you right now. So let's activate. The 2021 theme. So if you go here, over here and click on Activate, this will activate the 2021 theme. And if we go take a look at what that looks like, I just click on the upper left area, and it's simple. Right, for right now, it's just a blog post, some wording here. We don't have any images, obviously, because we haven't started yet. And there's some footer stuff here they chucked in to start off with. Oops. So what I want to do now is let's get a menu here, some pages I recommend for coaches, and let's get your this is a blog post. Let's not have this show up as the first thing on the homepage, and let's just do a few setting things so that you're in a place where you can start adding content. So into the dashboard we go, and I'm going to click on Pages and add a new page. So let's create a page called the home page. And this will serve as our home page where we can start editing content there. and you may be eager to get into visual design and all those things. And I think that's quite a big topic. And it's, I have my choice theme for this. So when you get into visual design, themes are a big part of that. And so I think the topic is just too big to go into in this video. That's why I kind of wanted you just to get started on content and think about the pages and structure of the site. I think that ends up actually being the harder thing to get done well, is talking about yourself and coaching and showing the value of it. So let me just give you a jump start on that now. I'm creating a page, the home page. And here it says, welcome to the block editor. So in WordPress, there are these blocks. The editing environment is based on blocks, like a paragraph or an image, or it could be a video, or it could be just a simple separator. And there are all kinds of blocks and lots of them. And I'm just going to close this and just quickly get you going. So here, let's make a home page. Let's title it home. When I hit tab, I can go into here and I can start typing. So I'm going to put in some dummy text. Here I can add an image. So I can click on this plus button when I'm over here, and I can pick other blocks. I can browse all the blocks available with WordPress. Lots of them. So many I don't even know. For the most part, text and images will get you far, like 99% of your site. So right now I'll just chuck an image in here for the fun of it. If I type an image, that's fine. It'll just find it. I don't know what's going to be in the library here, but let's find out. Let's go to the media library. It's like there's actually nothing. Oh, here, the media library. There's nothing in there. Let me upload a file from my desktop. This is some junk. Let's go to my desktop and let's go to, here's a coffee. Open and put some coffee on there. Chuck some coffee in the page, select it. And now there's coffee in the page. Let's center it. Align center. Caption. This is coffee. This is coffee. And I'll put some more text afterwards. Basically, I'm just clicking in here and typing. And let's just click publish and call it a day on this page. I can click on view page. Do you see that thing pop up down here? I clicked on that. Home, text. Now, this is nothing super snazzy, but it's simple and easy to use and read. So that's great. Let's create a couple other pages that I highly recommend you make. Specialty for coaches. So new at the top here, by the way, there's a black bar. And so you can just go here, new page. That's a shortcut. Whenever you do see this black bar at the top, it does mean you are logged into WordPress. I'm going to make a page called coaching. Put some more dummy text in there. And put an image. And the image off my desktop. Upload. Let's go to my desktop. What else is fun? Frustrated. Coaching. We don't want frustrated for coaching, do we? We want, I don't know. Let's pick this one. So here's an image. We'll just call this pondering. And let me just put in some text below. Publish this. Publish. Now, if you see on the bottom left, the little thing will pop up, view page. You can view page there, or you can do it on the right over here. I'll just do it at the bottom left. It's called habit. Coaching page. New page. Let's make a testimonials page, but I like to call it a success stories page. Success stories. This is my little snippet tool. It gives me a dummy text. There's nothing in WordPress that gives you this quick text. Separator. Let's check a separator in there. Separator is also a block you can use. And it just, since I'm doing success stories, and this is a testimonials page. And when I say success stories, I like my testimonials in a story format where it talks about your clients before they met you, some of the work you did, and after working with you, some of the results they got. It's a great format for telling a story about, coaching and working with clients and how you've helped them. So let me just put in 3 dummy success stories. The third one in here. I'm just clicking here. I'm going to hit enter after this last one and paste. So I have 3. Then I click publish. And it'll take a little time to get used to the Gutenberg environment, but the blocks are nice. They're good. You can move them around, and it makes it easy to create pages. Success stories looks like this. I have the little thing separating each story, blah, blah, blah. And another page. Let's add a new page. We're going to make an about page, about me. So let's go quick, about me. Click on the divider. It shows me the divider, and I can go here to these 3 dots and remove separator. And let's publish this. Publish. View page. About me. New page. Finally, a 5th page I recommend you having is basically a call to action page. One nice way of doing it is calling it your next step page, or you can call it free session. Get in touch. Discovery call. Let me call it your next step for fun. And here I often do a text and a contact form to tell people what to do to get in touch with you. Publish. And view page. Okay, so we've made 5 pages. They're not showing any menu up here at the moment. Let me click on this. It's basically take me to the front of the site. And so let's make a menu here. Okay, so to do that, we would just go to, on the left, if you go here, it's a quick short menu to menus, or I can just click on the thing in the upper left corner and just go to appearance, menus. So here's the menu area for making a menu, and let's just call this my menu. And we're going to create it. I click on that. I click create menu here. And you can see the pages are here on the left. Let's add all these pages to the menu. Add to menu. And here they are. And let's just grab and click and pull it up to resort them. I like doing home, then success stories, then coaching, and then about, and then your next step. So basically the story goes, your homepage will tell people what you do, start getting them familiar with who you are and what you're about. Success stories says, okay, here's some people that I've worked with and the success I brought them. And then the coaching page is, here's how I work. And then it goes into, okay, well, now let me tell you a bit about me. And then finally, take the next step and let's have a call to see if we should work together. Okay, so that's basically the story I like, and I like this format. I've seen about me first. Yeah. You can do it how you like. And then let's see. So this is display location. This is the primary menu. Check that off. Click save menu, and let's check to see if the menu showed up. Menu saved. Manage locations. What's that? Let me double check that. Yeah, primary menu, my menu. We just ensured that you don't need a secondary menu. Your site is not that big. Okay, so I go click on the upper left corner to see the site, and here it is. Jump High with Ken, Jump Training for Sports, Home, Success Stories, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Incidentally, it's showing this, and this is a test blog post. So right now the home page is set to show blog posts. But we're going to undo that and instead have the home page show that dummy home page we made. So on the left, just go to Settings, Reading. So this is how the site reads. And instead of your home page displaying your latest posts, we're going to choose a static post, Home. Then it's going to ask me, since I'm doing that, it's going to ask me which page you want your posts to show on, which page you want to be the blog. So right now, I'm just going to leave that off so that there is no page showing the blog, because I recommend that you put together a few blogs before you actually activate your blog. Unless you know no one's going to it and you're not going to really market it heavily and you want your blog active so you can start adding content to it and just see how it looks, sure, you can make it active. Just create a page and choose one for it to be. I would create a page called blog and then set the post page to that page called blog and then add it to your menu. But for now, I'd leave it like this. I'd recommend you do so as well. And let's see if you can get your content and images together so your site looks whole and complete as it is. Just a tip, I don't suggest you make pages saying coming soon, because what it really does tell the users is that you're hoping to make that page. And people don't write down, oh, go back to the site because it's coming soon. It does the opposite. It actually makes someone disappointed that it's not there. So I recommend just what you have active and live should be complete as it is. Unless you're promoting like a course that's coming up. And in that case, you can say course coming soon. But if you do something like that, you should have something, put your email here, and I will get in touch with you about the course when it's available. And that's commitment. That's showing that you're going to actually do it. And it also makes it easy for someone to be notified instead of them having to remember to come back to the page. So here, save changes. And let's have a look at your site to make sure the homepage is there. So if I click on the top left, Jump High with Ken, I'll click on your name. Here's the home. Here's the site. Jump High with Ken, home, success stories, coaching about me, your next step. Now that's a pretty good structure. Simple, obvious, intuitive. Right now, there's obviously no logo image, but it's using the text to function as such, which is good. It's where I should be, upper left corner. And here's that. Here are the other pages, coaching, about me. This is incredibly usable and intuitive. Right now, this setup you have here, and you can start your business this way. So it doesn't have a lot of visual razzmatazz, but that can come. Coaching. Oh, I did that. Your next step. It says your next step, etc., etc. In fact, when I quickly go to a recent website I built, if this will help you, Tandem Results, Lisa. So it's very similar to the starter site we have. Obviously, there's more branding and visual design going for Lisa, her site here, but you can see logo, home, client results instead of success stories, work together instead of coaching, I'm Lisa instead of about me, and let's talk instead of your next step. So when we went into branding and her appearance and her personality for her website, we have the colors and the images and the text and the way we write things and even the little menu items can all build your brand, so to speak, to make you something unique and something you're proud of. Okay, one last quick thing we need to do. Earlier, when we removed the Bluehost plugin, we also removed the coming soon page. So as you can see on my site, Jump High with Ken, it's showing this homepage, which has dummy text, and it's just not complete. So we need to add a new plugin called Maintenance so that we can turn that on, and we'll see a maintenance mode message. Okay, so log into your site if you're not already logged in. I will log in. Again, it's WP-admin as I've shown you earlier. Click login. And then just on the left, go to plugins. And we're just going to click on add new. And we're going to search for plugins. It's called maintenance. There are a few different maintenance kinds of plugins, but this one is new, well maintained. And here's the guy, big smile. We're going to use this plugin. It's good. It has 761 votes for stars, 700,000 installations. So we're going to use that one. Install now. And we'll click activate. And if we're looking at our plugins here, it says it's active. If you also look on the left, you'll see down below there's this maintenance item on the menu here. That's new. So click on that. This will give you the settings for this plugin. The site is undergoing maintenance. Maintenance mode is on, blah, blah, blah. And so here's the big switch at the top, big green button. Maintenance is on. I can click it and turn it off. I can turn it back on. So let's turn it on. Click on Save Changes. And let's just have a look at how it works. If I click, you can ignore all this other stuff on the right. They probably have a premium version. Do they? Install the free active. Well, they'll probably promote something else, but you can ignore that. So I'm going to click on Jump High with Ken in the upper left. And remember, I'm logged in as the administrator, so I will see the website. It won't give me a a maintenance mode message. So what I'm going to do is log out as if I'm, someone in the public viewing your site. And this is the new message you'll get. Jump High with Ken. Maintenance mode is on. Site will be available soon. Thank you for your patience. Jump High with Ken. You could actually change the wording here inside the plugin. And let me log in again and turn it off so you can see how that works. And log in. And then if I go to maintenance on the left, and then I turn it off, click that. Now it's red, it's off. Save the changes. And then I go back to the site. And I also need to log out. Remember, as the administrator, you'll always see the site as if it were live. So I'm going to log out. And now, again, maintenance mode is off. I am logged out. So a visitor will see the live website as shown here. So now you have a way to turn your site onto maintenance on and off. Okay, great. Congratulations on getting WordPress set up and getting things going. How was that process? Was it difficult, easy? Did you have problems? Just post below. I'd love to know how it went. I'd like to know if you had any ways I can make this video better. And if you did like this video, please hit like above. I'd appreciate it. And from here, I suggest two things. One, with respect to content, try working out the content for the various pages that we had set up. Maybe 3 things you'd love to communicate on each of those pages. That'd be a great start. A lot of coaches love the book I wrote called The Coaching Website Guide, which you can find at coachingsitesthatwork.com. And they really love how it has different chapters for different pages and how you can come up with your headline and body content and subheadlines, and it walks you through creating content for those various pages. So a lot of coaches find it handy just to read the section and just follow step by step. When it comes to themes, there are 2 themes that I really love. One is the Divi theme, and 2 is the Cadence theme for different reasons. And I wrote a blog post about it, which I'll link to below. And again, well, thanks for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. Until next time.